Very lovely.
Thank you very much.
So we're live.
Okay. What is next week's?
Next week's mini class: over responsibility and survivor's guilt.
How do I go to this?
Oh, that's my job. I got you. Slacking over here.
Oh, right. Over responsibility.
Welcome, everybody.
All right. All right, very good. All right, excellent. Welcome, Alexia, Jessica, Carrie, Bernadette. I'm going to give this a minute here for a few people to tune in. Just want to make a couple quick announcements. I am doing another Are You a Psychic, Medium, or Empath? Is it 2 weeks or is it 3 weeks?
3. It will be the 27th
Of July?
of July.
Okay. So July 27th on Tuesday, I believe that is, right? Whatever. Let's just go by the date. Okay.
Yes.
It's amazing I know what year it is. And that's debatable too. So the 27th here at 9 p.m., I believe we're doing. It might be 9:30. Are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath? If you're not sure about your intuitive abilities, you're going to want to tune in for that. And I want to invite you guys, if you are interested in taking the Psychic Mediumship course, we have the early bird wait list. This class does fill up fast, and it is limited seating through Zoom. Okay, so you have two options with the Psychic Mediumship course. You can either get downloadable videos, or you can be live interactive and do downloadable videos, but you'll actually train in how to give a reading and get certified through the academy, then be up for hire at our Ivy League psychic fairs and things like that. So if you're interested, go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com and get your name on the early bird wait list now. I do also want to announce our open house, my Victorian funeral home, 2 blocks from the beach. The restoration project that I'm doing is open to the public before I officially move in. A lot of people wanted to see it because it sat vacant for 10 years. And a lot of people had their loved ones laid out there. And then a lot of people just want to know what the heck is it going to be like to live in this beautiful, old funeral home. So we are doing a live stream as well as an actual organic open house if you guys happen to be in the New York area. And that's going to be on July 17th from 4 to 6 p.m. To get more information, what do they do? Go to the website maybe?
Yeah, we have an event page up on Facebook.
Okay. So there's an event page on Facebook. Or you can go onto my website, ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com for more info. Post here. Paul will answer your questions here as well, okay? So check it out. We would love to have you. You guys will be able to tour the place from like the embalming rooms in the basement all the way up. Everything's just left as is. It's been sitting that way for over 10 years. All the way up into the attic. We're just going to let you check it out, do what you want, and then I'll be cleaning and moving in. Okay, also, if you missed this week's free mini class, it was called Intuitive Increases. If you have noticed an increase with your psychic, mediumistic, or empathic abilities, but you're not sure why or what to do with it, check out that free mini class. It is now officially published in the playlist. Our class this upcoming week is that Tuesday at 9:30 p.m., and it's called Over Responsibility and Survivor's Guilt. If you have trouble with boundaries, if you overgive, if you're not good at staying in your lane, if you feel guilty, if you're not always, enabling other people, that's going to be the class for you. So check it out. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino airwalk, And I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally in everything ranging from psychic mediumship development to tarot, Reiki, numerology, astrology. You name it, we do it. And classes are online, so check it out, ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. What you've caught here tonight is my weekly Ask Ivy show, where I take your personal questions so you can start posting them in the comment section below. Donations are appreciated, not required, but appreciated. And if everyone could right now go on and hit this thumbs up, this like button. All right, that would be awesome. Feel free to subscribe. And if you want to become a member, hit the join button to look at your 3 different tiered options for like behind the scenes extras, extra curriculum, direct spirit messages, your monthly horoscope, all that good stuff. How are we doing?
Great.
Okay. My adorable producer, Paulie here. How are you, Paul?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
Okay, good. Paul will be taking your questions, and he does appreciate if you could include names of anyone that you're referring to, living or deceased. It speeds up the process so that I can get onto your neighbor faster. Who wants to start?
Well, we have a nice softball for you here
Okay.
from Bernadette. She wants to know, will there be dancing tonight?
There's always dancing. I'm just always waiting for the next big opportunity. That's awesome. That is in reference to getting a front row seat to the Karma show, a video I did earlier, and how awesome that is when it arrives. And I keep the faith and know that the universe will handle things. We do not need to get revenge. We do not need to fight our own battles all the time. There is a difference.
But in addition to that, Bernadette just posted that this year, as a docent for a local nonprofit, she studied Victorian architecture.
Oh.
So she can tell you some of the names of the architectural details of the new academy.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So
Bernadette,
awesome.
yeah, I hope you can get out there for the open house. If not, the videos are starting to go up. I would love to hear more. That's so exciting. What a great connection. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we have one from Karen.
Karen?
It says, can you see a new home for us? To just replace the kitchen seems nuts, considering we don't really have a kitchen.
I do. I feel that you could do this within the next 1 to 2 years, which is pretty immediate. So I think that what you really need to be doing is focusing more on what it is that you would like to see in a home. You seem to be giving mixed messages out to the universe. So what your guides are showing me is that you're kind of willy-nilly, a little bit iffy, a little back and forth, and we can't do that, okay? Speaking of dancing, I mean, we really can't, forward and back, and, you have to know what you want, and I think that you haven't allowed yourself to really know what you want. If you do, you haven't really set it to the universe yet, so it's like, I want a really big yard, or I don't want my neighbors on top of me. I want to be able to plant a garden. I want to be able to have a big master bedroom with a bathroom attached, whatever it is. I think it's really important that you get specific on what you want. I would write down 5 to 10 things on a piece of paper, fold it up, put it away, and claim that for yourself. But yes, within anywhere, it depends on your speed. 1 to 2 years, you could absolutely make this happen. I would agree on the kitchen too. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I don't think it's like a big red flag or a problem, but I just feel like, why? It's like a waste. It's like you're flushing your money down the toilet. The payout is not there. Okay.
This is from Rachel.
Okay.
I just started talking to this guy, Adam, and he is so nice thus far. I haven't dated in almost 5 years. Doesn't seem like I have a future with him.
I don't care for him, honestly. But I don't like anybody. I don't know. I feel like you're seeing the best of him right now, and I feel like what you're not seeing is someone who throws temper tantrums or doesn't have great control over their energy. He may have entitlement, and he may have been spoiled in some way. Now, we want to remember that when we look at someone who's spoiled, it doesn't necessarily come from them always being like the little prince, when they grew up, or the king. It could also come from neglect. And so people have almost like the same reaction to it, as they grow up. It can be a little rough when things aren't going their way. And so I think you're going to see some other sides of this person. I think that what's important for you to do is to not put your heart on your sleeve, not put your heart on the table, keep your cards close to your vest, and to keep the upper hand in this relationship so that if it reaches a point where you no longer like his tone, it's you that's able to easily close that door and remove yourself and create some space. Do not give up your space, okay?
This one's from Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Will I get a job anytime soon?
I think that you will. I think that you have a couple options coming up. You know how they say when it rains, it pours, or things happen in sets of 3. It kind of looks like you're about to enter into one of those phases. Over the course of the next 2 weeks to 2 months, you could find that you're having some job opportunities, but you know, you want to be careful not grabbing at the first thing that comes. I'm seeing higher wage. So let's just use the example. This may not be your situation, but let's use the example of minimum wage right now. People won't go back to work because they can't live off that wage. So for you to be able to get a job that's like 16 an hour, you know, would be something that you might want to grab at. But even if this is just symbolic for you, okay, I think that you want to analyze a couple other things with this job. You don't want to just grab the first thing that pays enough. You also want to look at the long-term prosperity and what your ultimate goals are. And I feel that you're trying to do more with your life contract. I feel like you're trying to do more work that's meaningful for you. And you want to see, is this a stepping stone to get that done, or is this going to be some kind of a trap or a dead end? I think it's important that you keep your eye on the long-term goal regardless. And I would not be surprised if you find yourself taking on a job soon, but also doing some kind of advocacy or volunteer work or activism or something else. It feels like on the side you're contributing volunteer, and that may actually lead you to even more interesting work down the road that does pay.
Okay. This one is from Juz Joha.
Jez Johap.
Yeah. What spiritual gifts should I strengthen?
This one's a little bit tricky because you can't just strengthen it on your own free will or your accord without spirit being willing. So I'm going to say mediumship. But what we need to understand about the difference between psychic, empathic, and mediumistic abilities is that you control psychic ability. You control empathic ability. Mediumship, it's a bit of a crapshoot. The smartest thing for you to do, join class, learn the lost language from the bottom up, how all the different spirits communicate, and most importantly, straight out how you can receive communication and what you're not so good at. So we want to strengthen those other abilities. But I think that mediumistic ability is wise for you to work with because spirits do seem interested in you and you seem to have a ministry, which is going to mean that people come to you for a very specific kind of healing. A lot of people who go into the healing arts, they're scattered, okay? They just dabble in everything and it's like they're consuming and they don't understand what they were supposed to focus on. Because if you don't focus where you should, if you get out of your lane, you don't focus where you should, when your ministry shows up, you got nothing to offer, or you've only got little bits and pieces. I think that people who come to you are going to want to connect with their ancestors, connect with their loved ones, connect with their guides and angels, and, you know, God. And I think that you could articulate really well what it is that Spirit's trying to say. Your communication skills are off the hook in regards to this. I would just stay right there and learn the language. But again, with mediumship, Spirit has to agree with you. So if you get out of alignment with your ethical code of conduct, morality, if you drink or use drugs, you're going to watch mediumship just dry right up. And you'll only be left with toxic, negative, lower spirits. And we don't want that to happen. So it's a high calling. Okay, you're going to have to really be very strict with how you handle your everyday living. There's no cheating on this one.
All right, this one is from Carrie.
Carrie.
Eric Leon, any potential there romantically?
I think it's fun. I think it could also be a great like sexual connection. And I see the beach. So I don't know if you guys are like going to the beach, if you're sitting on the beach, if you're, I guess that would be going to the beach. What, I don't know what, I'm just pull out right there. I don't know what you're doing on the beach, but it looks pretty good. And it looks like you guys are having a good time. My impression of this is to laugh, to talk, intellectual stimulation. Let the atmosphere in the universe kind of feed this relationship. Just work off the positive energy. Sometimes when you get together with people, it clicks and other people start treating you differently and you start to see the world differently. The world interacts with the energy of the two of you together in a very different way than what it normally does when you're single or with someone else. And so I think that you can ride off of that. And it's almost like telling a story that's supposed to be told. Do I see it turning into, I don't remember how she asked this, but like, is there potential? That's the potential. If you're looking for something long-term committed, something marital, something in that vein, I don't know about that. But I see this as value. I also think it's important to, how do I say this? Try not to make it last longer than what it's supposed to. So I wouldn't be surprised if between the 4th and the 6th month, you guys feel like you're just maybe going in separate directions or you start to see things differently. That's okay. Let it be what it is. It was great, friendship, if nothing else.
Okay, this one is from Bonnie.
Bonnie.
My son Jason passed in April of 2020. This August, we're planning to spread his ashes on his birthday. Does he have a preference as to where?
I saw mountains. Yeah. So when he was coming in here, he was showing me what looked like the top of a hill or the top of a cliff or a mountainous region. I felt maybe there's water there, but it felt to me like it was more that scene. And I'm under the impression that he talked a bit about this, or that he would also have like pictures and images. So he seems connected to this still. And he'll be using those pictures, those images, those suggestions to let you guys know. But he really said anywhere would do. Okay, like I just don't feel that he's very fixated on this. I think that he is everywhere. Okay, see everywhere. And it doesn't matter. It's what is going to bring you guys the most peace and bring you some joy because you deserve it. Okay, I don't know too if you have something of his like on your mantle, like a memorial. But I feel like I'm in the living room and I feel like I'm looking at a shelf and I feel up on that. Or that may be where you're keeping the ashes right now. But he sees this as well. And he's always going to be around no matter what. He will be there that day, though. He said it's really important for a few key people who are going to be there. It feels like a younger female, maybe a guy like about his age, something like that. But it feels to me like a few people really need to release. And this is going to be a releasing ceremony for them to let go and to start celebrating, his new life. Okay. And the fact that he's still around. So it does need to happen.
Okay.
He loves you very much. It's also giving you a red rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. And some sunflowers might be crossing your path. Note that that's him. Hummingbirds. He'll keep going. So I'm going to kind of cut him off. But he likes to pop up. Okay. And remind you that he's there. For nothing more than just reminding you that he's there. He's just said thank you. Okay. I feel like you did an amazing job. For him. With him. Amazing job. That you would open your home to anybody, but he was very lucky to have you, he says.
Okay. We have one from Anita.
Anita?
I was trying to communicate with Archangel Michael. I heard a distinct voice say, "Yes, what can I help you with?" I'm wondering if this was indeed Michael or if this was another being from Spirit.
I would never trust it. I always look at the archangels as being a little too busy for that kind of thing. They really don't communicate in that sort of friendly, down-to-earth manner. See my class called Coffee with Your Angels. It's a 2-hour training up on my website where I break down myth versus truth. And often when people are trying really hard to communicate with very specific high-level entities in the universe, they are often tricked like you would be if you were using a Ouija board or a pendulum or dowsing rods. You can easily be fooled. And we see negative energies step in that try to manipulate you during that time. So communicating with angels is not always what it's cracked up to be. Here's what I would suggest. You want to get closer to angels? Learn mediumship, be of service, offer as much healing as you can, because they are the healing entities of the universe. And when you've earned more communication that way, they will automatically come to you because you're going to start working for them. And the only other time they really ever show up is when you're in trouble, like dire straits, significant trouble. What I do also, though, believe about archangels, and some of us are appointed to work for them. You can see it in your astrology chart even. What you want to pay attention to, and Archangel Michael is connected to like Leo energy, okay? So that could also be a sign that you're called to work for him. I talk about all of this in the Coffee with Your Angels class again, but archangels have angels appointed under them. So one of the things we can see when we reach out or we call on the angels to help with something is that the angels appointed under them actually come. That doesn't mean they're not connected. It just means you're not going to the highest of the high. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to take a quick break here. Thank the donations from Shauna, Shannon, and Kerry. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And you got a bunch of thank yous for everything. Karen, Mercedes, Jez, Joha, and Bonnie said thank you. They had thought of Whiteface Mountain for the
Oh, Whiteface Mountain. Yeah, mountain. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks so much for the donations, guys. Absolutely. And you're very welcome. That sounds like the right place. Beautiful. Who's next?
We have one from Lauren.
Lauren?
Do you see things looking up for me soon? I've been struggling with my health, but hoping I'm on the road to recovery.
I was going to say I saw some health stuff going on right now that seems to be coming to an end, the end of a karmic cycle, some tests. I'm not talking medical tests. These are more like tests on your stamina, tests on your faith, tests on your ability to be present and here in the moment, rooted, stable, grounded, to be present, to not, worry about the past or the future, what might happen, where may this lead. You've really done a lot of battling during this time, and I feel like you've done well. I think that you're going to be processing the lessons that you were meant to learn from all of this for several years, approximately 5 to 6. And I think that's a smart way to handle this going forward. What was I supposed to learn from all of this? Why did this happen? How can I use this to get stronger and then help others? And the health issues themselves, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, coming to an end because it just doesn't seem that the battle is meant to sort of drag out. Okay. It's like you got what you needed out of it. Okay. Very good.
Okay. This one is from Christine.
Christine
said, can you please tell me about the roof over my head? It kind of reminds me of leveling up. Missing keys, missing glasses, bank accounts depleted, bank is at fault, like a dream, a ladder I can't climb.
Okay. So she feels that there's basically some kind of block that is preventing her stability. Okay. So the first thing that I'm seeing with you is some unfinished business. So when we talk about stuff coming to a head, we're talking about skeletons in the closet, unfinished business, stuff swept under the carpet. Anything that has not been properly dealt with in your life is sort of coming to the forefront right now, and you need to resolve things. The second thing I was hearing was, what were you told to do that you've refused to do? So there's an area of your life, possibly several areas, where you have refused to make the change that you need to make, and now you're suffering the consequences. When I teach my students about something called the shift, we talk about a 3-part process to this. And in the third part, it's called the breaking of the legs. The breaking of the legs is basically like being put in a big fat timeout chair to go back and to figure out what you need to correct or do that you didn't. And it would feel very much like what you're explaining right here. Yes.
This is from Alexandria.
Alexandria?
Yeah. I find myself disconnected from those who show interest in me, like every single time. I'm curious to know if you see any changes in my love life soon.
I don't, I think there's a name for that. I'm not up to, I'm not always up to speed on the names of like, what's it called? It's like you've got like, bisexual, you've got pansexual, you've got there's a name for this. It's not asexual per se, but it's like I don't know. I would have to Google it. But it feels like that to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I think that you don't really want it, just kind of really don't really need it. I think that people come with a lot of entanglement, a lot of drama, whether they mean to or not, even the evolved humans that are out there, and that requires a great deal of work and mindfulness all the time from them. Humans by nature, I don't believe that are good by nature. I just don't. I think that takes a lot of hard work, and that when somebody approaches you and wants to get entangled with you, your natural resistance is to just sort of not be interested or to want to protect your energy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do think that one of the things you may want to do, though, if you are interested in more of a love connection in an intimate way, is to make sure you tell the universe what it is that you're claiming and that you will not settle for less than that. I just put out a free mini class up here in the playlist called Finding the One. And I have like 10 different things that you should be doing or looking for to attract that right person. And I think that the trick I tell you on there to write down 15 things that you are claiming to you in a love partner, and then to put it in an envelope and put it away, would be a wise first move for you, because I think in a lot of ways you don't know exactly what you want. And so you're getting a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay. This is from Love. Yep. How do I cope with the loneliness I am facing in this new stage of my life?
You have to, I just keep like leaning to the left side, which is the past. You have to let go of the past. And this is no time to say like easier said than done, or, that's really hard to do. Yeah, of course it is. It's hard for everybody, and everybody has to learn this trick or else, so I think it's about loving yourself, understanding that you're doing a good job, that you're in a healing process, but that it is a new beginning, and that life does go on, and that you are here with big purpose. And so this is a great time for you to not negate the progress that you're trying to make, okay, by essentially self-defeatism. And it's important to take those things that have changed, that are gone, that you need to release. And I would, in your case, maybe do a ceremony. If you can even get to like a drum circle, we'll be starting them up again at the Academy, and I'm sure we'll be doing live videos. Now that COVID is somewhat lifted, we'll be bringing back our drum circles where we do a releasing and a claiming of what we want. I would do something like this either, with the empowerment or on your own in a ceremony, using a piece of paper that sort of writes down what it is that you want to say, what it is that you appreciate, so that you're converting it from negative to positive, and burn it, tear it up, throw it in a pile, whatever it is. But I would create another list saying what it is that you would like to bring in to your life from the universe, what things you're going to be focusing on now, and take your head out of the past as much as you can humanly control it, and replace those thoughts with the future. Habit forming is everything in this. Yes. What?
I was wondering, take your head out of the past. I thought you were saying something.
Take your head out of the past. It depends how fast you say it. That's right.
You're good at rhyming.
I do validate, though. I know I see that you are, going through a lot. I'm not trying to say like it's not a lot. It is a lot. But, these are huge opportunities in life to level up, and we don't want to treat them like it's taking a bullet and I'm down and out. We want to treat it like it's an opportunity to get stronger and move on to much greater things. Okay.
It's from Ania.
Ania.
I'm going into college.
Okay.
Will I do well in my major, which is biology pre-med?
I think that you would do well. I think that there are times when you seem to lose interest, and I think it's important to not get distracted with other people, what other people are doing. So whether that be like partying, talking too much, watch out for people socially who are, this is going to sound terrible, are extremely extroverted or babble. That can be like a knife to the ear. It's like nails down a chalkboard. People who put too much energy out, never filter, and talk endlessly about things that you could care less about. If you put yourself in that company too much, you're going to get drained. And it's going to be very hard for you to stay center, rooted, grounded, focused on the work that you have to do. You have a long road ahead of you, but this is a journey that you can excel at. I see even the possibility of like scholarships, your name being mentioned in honors, and I see your name being printed as well. So I think that if you continue on this road and continue to feel that this is passionately part of your life contract and what you're drawn to do, then so be it. But if later on down the road you start to feel that you want to do work with people in a different way, you should also be open to that. Good luck.
All right. This is from Terrence.
Terrence?
Do I let go of this love relationship with Amber, or is this a forever thing?
No, it's not. There is no forever thing anyways. This is a very brief contract. So when we look at love partnerships, we want to be very realistic about the contract and the deadlines between the two people. And this felt pretty brief, like 3 years. It is an opportunity, I think, in you letting go and releasing for you to grow. So this is a time for self-growth. This is a time for independence. This may be a time also for you to really be single and enjoy that. Even if you are attracting a lot of other people to you, be careful over committing to anyone, because it's the year of you, and so it's all about you celebrating who you are and your newfound freedom, your ability to spread your wings. This is something that hasn't happened for you in a long time. You've been sort of confined like a bird in a cage. The door's been open, but you don't seem to have recognized that. Now that you do recognize you are a bird, the door to the cage is open. I feel like you're ready to go out there and fly. You just need to stop second guessing what your gut's telling you. Okay?
Okay, this one is from Jennifer.
Jennifer?
I've recently reconnected with a man from high school, David, for the third time in over 20 plus years. Could there be more to this connection?
I think that there is. When we see someone crossing our path repeatedly, it's important, though, to make sure you're not like, I'm just saying this for everybody, chasing it, putting yourself on their path, making it happen, connecting with connector people. When it happens authentically, that is a sign that there is still work to be done there. Now we want to ask, what kind of work? Well, is it the type of energy that was originally there when you first met this person? Signifies like some type of lesson or growth. What was that atmosphere all about? What were you doing during that time? For example, David is someone from high school, correct? Is that what she said?
We've known for 20 plus years.
Oh.
A man from high school.
Okay. So we have to think symbolically of what high school represents. High school is sort of like, that coming of age. It's sort of like, right, you're still a kid, for sure. But it's coming into adulthood. So those themes would be still prevalent in the relationship with this person. They would activate that inner child in you, but that sort of lighthearted, yet, mature nature, sort of having a lot of expectations about the world, idealism even, adventure, all of that. And every other time you encountered this person, you would want to look at what was going on in your life at that time. Why did that particular individual show up at that point? Were you going through a divorce? Were you going through a difficult time? Did you need that uplifting energy? Basically, you want to analyze every single time they show up. What is going on with this? That'll give you a better idea of what the nature is of the relationship, what the lessons and growth are all about, and how you two are supposed to be there to work together during those times. And I think that in this particular situation, it's going to be about reciprocity. So if he was there to give some good energy to you in the past, this may be your turn to give it to him, and then we'll see what comes up, from here going forward or on the next time around. But yes, I do see this theme continuing with the two of you. There is something more to this. It's a nice energy for sure. Love it. Okay, we are at time. So I want to thank everyone so much for the donations today. Please do subscribe at this time and give this video a thumbs up if you didn't already do so to become a member. Hit the join button for like your monthly horoscopes, behind the scenes extras, direct spirit messages, things like this. Also, if you guys have not checked out the videos on the restoration project for the Victorian funeral home that I just bought, that'll be the headquarters for the Ivy League Psychic Academy, a Roots Revival Interfaith Church. Check out the videos. I think we have like 4 or 5 now, and we set them up in a separate playlist here. Thank you so much, Paul.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Spirit. Have a great